eyes close and dreams go free. Got an angel next to me. Hold me close so I can breathe. Let me go so I can live. Where do we go from here? Take me far away, so we can stop the time, and love will take its place. Where do we go from here? Take me far away, so we can stop the time, and love will take its place. It will be tonight when I turn off the world for you. It will be tonight when I turn up the stars for you. It will be tonight when I turn off the world for you. It will be tonight when I turn up the stars. I turn up the stars for you. Forget your past. I'm here to make it last. Where we're going, we don't need maps. Take a chance with the Wall Street crash. I feel what you feel, that our love is strong. And I hear what you hear, it's our favorite song. And I taste what you taste, it's the sweetest kiss. And I see what you see, and I'm so impressed. Where do we go from here? Take me far away, so we can stop the time, and love will take its place. Where do we go from here? Take me far away, so we can stop the time, and love will take its place. It will be tonight when I turn off the world for you. It will be tonight when I turn up the stars for you. It will be tonight when I turn up the world for you. It will be tonight when I turn up the stars. I turn up the stars for you.
Namaste and blessings, family. We are here on this glorious day here in Sedona, and we wish to share in this video how to remote view. I am joined by my glorious team member and soul sister, Isabella Green. How are you doing today?
Excellent.
Fantastic. We are both going to share our experiences with remote healing and remote viewing, and to help answer some of the questions you guys might have on the subject. So, first of all, Isabella, how did you get into remote viewing?
Well, I grew up in Russia, and I was lucky enough to be surrounded by friends where remote viewing was just a part of our everyday deal kind of thing. We were just like hanging out with each other in space and going and checking up on each other, and then we also would just hang out in the Astrals and go check out what's out there, and then get together and talk about it. And it just seemed like a part of a normal routine. No one really thought of that as odd or whatever, so I guess I was really lucky, and I also had that skill more or less right away when I was growing up.
Amazing! So what are some of the ways that you use remote viewing to, especially with your profession, to aid others that are in need?
Well, right now I do remote spiritual healing work, and I would like to backtrack that for a second. I actually completely forgot that I had this ability. I had the ability to astral project and to remote view. I completely forgot about it until I had a reawakening. And when I had a reawakening, I remembered that. I was like, wow, I used to do all this cool stuff. I used to just go out in space and hang out and see things and go visit people and meet people, and it was just great, you know. And then I started doing that again, and then I put two and two together, and I figured that I can actually get that skill involved in healing work. I was doing energy work, and then I just decided, let me try and do remote energy work, and it worked. And so this is what I do now for a living, actually. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. It's a lot of fun, and it's also very effective. And it's also, you're not bound to your space or to your community. You can do that anywhere.
So what are some of the techniques you use to how to remote view? So we can give our audience and family out there some tips on ways to not only develop this skill set, but in ways to utilize it.
How I developed that, I remember that I originally was focusing on finding that soul first. When you know a person, it's easier to practice because you can just like search for them. How do they feel to you? You search for them in space, sitting in your own room, and they're sitting in their own room, and you can actually make an agreement that you guys gonna do that, and you can search for each other. And so you search for each other in space, like for each other's, the way the soul feels. And then I was focusing on the color originally. I was like, color has a vibration, and so it worked for me really well at the beginning when I was just starting, because my question would be like, what color are they wearing? What color are they wearing? And so I just developed that skill. I would call them later, be like, were you wearing brown or were you wearing blue? And they're like, yeah, I was. Oh, cool. Wow. So it worked. But now I don't do that anymore. I just search for the soul composition, and you can wear all energy. You can find anyone, anywhere, by just focusing on how their soul feels. And how you develop that skill, I don't really know how to explain that. I guess you've got to have to try and figure it out for yourself, but it's definitely a skill that anyone can develop. If I could do it, anyone else can do it as well.
Awesome. I would like to share some of my understanding with remote viewing. Isabella does it in a very healing way. She has many clients which she's asked to heal and clear blockages that she does amazingly. But with my understanding of it and how I first began doing the remote viewing was actually 2 locations. My first priority when I first woke up is to obviously aid mass consciousness, but also the planet shift in certain doorways and gateways around planet Earth. So what I would do was I would, when I knew I was going to a location, I would go on Google Maps. I would zoom into the location all the way to like 20 or 50 feet, as far as they'll allow you to go. I would then take pictures with my mind, not only of the map and the topography, but actually any other photos I could find online on the location. I would then try to scout and talk to anyone who had been there. I then began to formalize a picture in my mind of this space I was about to visit. So when I went on my hikes or up on the mountain, Thunder Mountain behind me, I would do a walkthrough, and then I would train and practice. And I like to recommend in anything that you do to walk it through with your mind first. I had a friend who was a pro snowboarder, and he would tell me that his, how he got so good so fast was that before he would launch off a jump, say do a 720 rodeo flip, he was very good, my brother Brandon, what he would do is he would visualize in his mind's eye over and over and over again of him launching off the jump. And when he could land that jump, boom, in his mind, then he would attempt it and try it. And I recommend that with anything in life that you want to do, any type of skill that you want to perform, or any thing that you're working on, that once you can work it through and actually visualize seeing yourself doing that specific task, it makes it that much stronger, that much more concrete in your holographic matrix and in your belief system. Because now you know you can land it because you've landed that jump here. So, with the remote viewing, I also utilize that with interacting with specific multidimensional beings before I get to a location. I also use the remote viewing to visit my family members in dream time. I also use the remote viewing to understand some of the things that the consciousness on the planet is going through, and kind of begin to understand those small little sentences of truth that we as a collective are going through collectively. We are all come from different cultures, and how you were raised may be different from the way I was raised. However, our integrity and that information that comes from our hearts is what truly benefits the planet. So in that understanding, we accelerate that much faster. Now, some of the techniques I use is very similar to Isabella's. You lock onto the person. A first and last name usually helps a lot. A picture definitely helps a lot. You can definitely try this. Mind you, with the proper intent. You have to understand too, when you're remote viewing, and Isabella will share as well, it's more of a welcome thing. It's like a friend. Hi, I'm a friend saying hello, knock knock on your door. It is not, I'm going to try to remote view on somebody I do not know or might not have that experience with. Always asking permission first, most important and paramount. It's respect. I have respect for your soul group, your soul stream, as you respect for mine. So mutual respect. So in that understanding, to facilitate that, using your mind's eye, using your intuition, I wish I could to connect to this person, first and last name. Here's a visual image that I'm picturing them in my mind of what they look like. Okay, what city are they in? You can probably find this information out. Or what town, what village, what house, what block. Lock in, boom, 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 boom. Similar to the Google Maps when you're zooming in over a city, boom, 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 boom. Zoom in. Okay, then you visualize the individual person or being. Maybe they're sitting on a couch, maybe they're reading a book, whatever they might be doing. But like I said, like Isabella recommended right from the get-go, it'd be really cool to call your friend first. Hey, I'm going to try to remote view tonight. You know, let's try to do this and let's try to see what colors we're wearing. And in the morning, wake up and then confirm. And I think as you develop that strength over and over and over again, then that clarity becomes that much realer because now you have a 3D confirmation that this and what you're perceiving is real. Yes, I was wearing the blue jeans with the white tank top. Excellent. What book were you reading? Now, I know one of the keys to bilocation is, and which I've heard and felt in my intuition, is that when you're able to jump into a place and you have the same type of clarity that you would have in 3D, you're actually prepared to bilocate. Meaning that I can read the name on this camera, an icon. I can see what the couches look like. I can see the titles of the books in the room. I can see not only the color of the shirt she's wearing, but every single aspect and facet of the room. The more you can copy and paste that image into your reality, making it so, not only imagining it, but taking that imagination to the next level in your own clarity and understanding, that is how you get really good. And I know that is one of the keys to bilocate for if you're going to jump to a location, okay, you have to know what type of environment you're jumping into. All right. So was there anything else you'd like to share?
I think I'm done over here, actually. Thank
right?
you.
No. She's way more skilled. Talk about how you use the overflowing love of Source to heal the people that you work with. Talk about some of the positive things that you use remote healing for.
Okay, all right. So if we are here to now, going to be talking about the healing aspect of remote viewing, and I would like to elaborate a little bit on what Ryan was saying as far as scanning the room and checking out the room. Originally, when I started doing the remote healing work, that's what I was doing, and the clients were really very fascinated. Like, oh my gosh, she saw my pillow, she saw my couch, she could describe my house. And I felt like I was all over the place. I was visiting them there. At the same time, I was in my room, changing the music or focusing on delivering the healing stream of energy towards them. Now I don't do that anymore. I do not need to. I just find them in space. I find that soul, and I deliver the healing energy to the soul. I no longer divert my attention to the details in the room, because it's great while you're developing the skill, but when your objective is to do the healing work, you don't really want to be spreading out and like entertaining your clients basically with the details in the room. But while you're practicing, while you're learning, it's a great practice to go and like read the titles in their books and what's happening around them. Yeah, that's great. So I find the composition of the soul. I find the way the person feels. Exactly like Ryan said, the first last name in the picture helps. Sometimes I've never even met the person, but I can focus on the way they feel through the name, their signature, their energetic signatures in the name. So I focus on that, and I focus on their eyes, and I just go there and I find their divine sparkle, their soul, and I lock in with that, and then I just start experiencing, I start developing that feeling inside of me, inside of my chest, that feeling of that divine love for them. And I have developed that as a skill as well, that you can produce that feeling, and you can pull in that divine love, that stream of consciousness, that beam of golden light, if you wish. You can pull that in for anyone. It doesn't have to be a loved one or someone that you already know. You can do that for someone that you never even met. And once your own heart is open, it's really, really easy to do that. And when you're pulling in that love, you're just focusing on their soul, and you're directing that divine love, the golden beam, if you wish, onto them, and that's all you need to do. All the stuff that needs to adjust for them is going to adjust, and you might experience all sorts of visuals while this is happening, and then explain that to them. But the key here is to find that soul, remote view that soul, and then bring the divine love into them, and miracles happen. That happens with me in my work every single day. Every single client I have, I do remote spiritual healing work, and it's just been incredible. It's a great ride.
That's awesome. So to follow a little bit more with what Isabella said when she was speaking about her skill set, which she, instead of, since we are truly multidimensional beings, to understand that instead of remote viewing how she used to, which is taking, say, that bandwidth of 3, 4, and 5, the lower, or 3 and 4, I should say, and accessing a vessel. So here are you remote viewing, I'm accessing this bandwidth and going straight across. What she does now is she goes up, attaches to their divine aspect in their soul group, and then comes down. So if you guys want to think about that too, utilizing your upper dimensional higher selves, which truly facilitate the grander scheme of healing, that is a much more accurate and divine way to do that. I find that's very important. I also find it's very important to understand it in your own soul group, in your whole soul stream, and which one of your higher selves actually is that go-to for healing. Everyone has their own set of all-stars. We call them our higher selves and our oversoul. Every one of our aspects has a very specific skill set, something that they do the best on your stream. So to understand and utilize which asset, which factor, which of your aspects, me personally would be my 10th dimensional Palladian awesomeness. She is very amazing at the healing, because when I actually work on people in 3D, I actually feel her, you know, she's very tall, stand behind me and actually access through my hands, through my fingers, and then I begin to heal or work on the person. So to understand, to have that frequency is really what we're speaking about. If you can utilize a higher frequency where your upper dimensional selves can actually get down here in this density and actually utilize your vessel to express that level of healing, that is amazing. That is bringing heaven to earth. That is utilizing and truly becoming a full multidimensional being in avatar mode. What function would you like to operate in right now, Isabella? Rion. So, family, so to understand that. And with that, just want you to let you know this will be the first of many series of how-to videos on teamlight.com and Team Light. And it's a pleasure to be here sharing this information with you. And we hope that our experience aids you in raising your frequency and having a little more understanding of our holographic matrix.
Namaste.
Namaste.